everyone. Welcome to Black is Magazine, Phases the Next Level. We are going to just get into who Sai'Queenau is and what she has going on. We appreciate everybody being here. Look for Black is Magazine. Sai'Queenau will be one of our clients that will be featured in Black is Magazine, the new edition, the first edition. So yay, we're excited for that. And we are so excited, Sai'Queenau, to have you to be featured as one of our feature stories in the magazine. So without any further ado, would you go ahead and introduce yourself and let the world know who you are and what you do?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. First, I would just like to just thank you for the opportunity. It's a great opportunity. So my name is Sai'Queenau Reese. I recently just launched a boutique, LoHo Forever. Lo stands for loyalty. Ho stands for honesty. I have two little girls. One is 8. One is 4. One name is loyalty. One name is honesty. So we're really big on loyalty and honesty. So we always said, we're gonna incorporate that when we name our children. We didn't know we were gonna have 2 girls, but we said just in case, the next one, honesty, loyalty before honesty.
Oh, sweet.
So that's my newest venture, the LoHo Forever boutique. But prior to that, so I have been working for the state of Oklahoma for the past 10 years. I started my career with Department of Corrections. Working in the Department of Corrections, I did a multitude of things, from being a probation officer, correction officer, division support coordinator. Now I'm working with the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, working with the mental health and drug court program. So I have a passion for criminal justice and basically just helping the population that suffer from mental illness or drug abuse, substance abuse. That have been my passion for a long time. Before, I was on more of the punitive side, worked for Department of Corrections, and now I'm more on the diversion side. But again, thank you for having me.
I am so excited. This is just, I think it's a godsend that we met. I'm all about honesty. I'm about loyalty. Like, I am true to what I do. And if I say I'm going to do something, I stand behind my word. And I think that's a part of being loyal to the people that you are involved with. And when you tell somebody something, they expect that to happen. And I love your kids' names.
Yes.
So anyway, let's move on. My next question is, what caught my attention is that you were a new business owner with the boutique. What inspired you to create that boutique? You said that you guys are busy. You have a lot going on, and being a mother alone is busy, right? It's a lot. So what inspired you to create this boutique and get it started?
So, excuse me. So I guess, with everything that's going on as far as the pandemic, we all have, quote unquote, a lot of time on our hands, quote unquote, because I really don't. Right. But I have always had a passion for fashion, kind of cliche, but I really haven't. To be honest, I think I had started thinking about opening up a boutique. I was actually going to go in partnership with someone else. This is before the pandemic. I had been talking to a young lady about going into partnership, whereas she wanted to more or less, well, let's just say we had different views on the direction we wanted the boutique to go in. And so it didn't happen. And so then we fast forward, and then once we get into the pandemic, and then we're like at home, and I'm just sitting here, and I always have a lot of friends calling me, and I'm giving them advice about business and everything else. And I was just like, look, I need to just do this for myself. Right. So I just did it. I just went for it.
Right.
I just went for it.
So we know that in business, when we're trying to be an entrepreneur, and we create, being African American, being Black, we have to create our own opportunities a lot of times.
Right.
So how difficult or not was it to get this boutique up and running? Because there are a lot of people in fashion. And when I tell you this story will go a long way, what would you tell people about because it's not always pleasant. It's not an easy thing to do. Tell me about the bumps in the roads and your whole experience getting it up and running.
So you touched it right on. So it's not easy, you know, on the surface, it may look easy, it may look all glorified, like, oh, okay, she has a site with all these beautiful clothes. But on the back end, you know, it's a lot of work. Anytime you have your own business, it's a lot of work because you have to go out and get that clientele, you have to promote yourself, you have to anything that goes wrong is on you. You have to invest. So you have to have the capital and the resources. And a lot of times, you know, for me, I'm a first time business owner in my family. So it's not like that you have that education on what to do, what not to do. So everything is a learning experience, right? And so then you have to do like a lot of research. It's just a lot, you know, that you have to put into it. So for me, I see that it is an influx of online boutiques, but that didn't really just deter me from doing it. It made me want to work even harder to
Absolutely.
promote myself, you know.
Yeah.
So
So I like that because you have to have a lot of drive. You have to have a lot of commitment and you have to be consistent.
mhm.
Tell me, how do you handle, like, and I'm sure you've experienced this, like we go out and we advertise our stuff and we go out there and you really don't feel like you're getting the response, right? You don't hear from people especially people you felt like you should hear from. You don't
Right,
hear from them. So let's talk about commitment. Let's talk about consistency, and let's talk about how you deal with, people maybe not showing up for you
right,
because then we know at that point we could very well say, forget it. Forget
right,
it. Nobody's supporting me. I can't. So tell me about that.
right. So I feel like definitely you're gonna have those days where you feel that the people that you thought were going to support you, the people that you thought were going to be the first ones at the door to celebrate your success, to champion you on. Usually they're not. They're not there the way you would like for them to be. But I think you can't just expect for your family and your friends to support you in the ways that you may would have supported them.
Right.
And do not make that. I think some people will be like, you know what? I don't have the support. I just want to quit.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Like use that motivation, use that determination to just keep going, keep striving, keep going, keep striving. Because a lot of times people won't jump onto the bandwagon until you're doing good, you know?
And it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
When you're in the trenches and you're really getting down through there, really you're alone. Even, sometimes like literally alone and doing this work. And it's so easy to quit. But I say this, if you want something bad enough, you have to fight for it. And because it's really, and I hate to keep referring back to this, but as Black people, it's just honest. It's really harder for us to get our resources and get the things that we need. And a lot of us don't even have the income for that, right? What do you say to people that don't really have the funds? They really have this idea, right? And then now they went in their mind and they dug deep and they tapped high into their higher power and they prayed about it. And now here's this plan, but I don't have what I need to get started. Tell me what you think, and then I'll tell you what I think.
So I don't necessarily think that you need to just base your dream on your resources or your fund because, sometimes it's not always about the funds and the resources. It's kind of like me. I'm a country girl. I'm from the country. And I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. But some would look at me and be like, oh, okay, she's successful. But they don't know my background. They don't know where I came from. So I always think about it's not where you start, it's where you're going. Just keep that drive and that determination and keep it going.
Right. And I agree with you. It's a matter of you have to stay focused on what you're doing. You have to want it though. You have to want it so bad you can taste it in your mouth almost. Right?
Yes.
That's how I say it. And right, people don't know your story and they see the end result, of what you have, but they don't know about what it took to get there. And what I say is that your failures, your disappointments, the roadblocks that occur, all are there to make, first, are a learning mechanism, and then
Mhm.
they're there to make you stronger, because you learn what not to do again, right? When you fail, when you have disappointments of people not showing up, and but you kept pressing, you can look back and say, and I did it, right? So it's the end result that you can celebrate in, but if you quit, you'll never get to that end result. um
Right.
like, just say the magazine, Black is Magazine.
Mhm.
We didn't we're not starting with a whole bunch of money in the bank, right?
Right.
What we did is we got on this computer, we utilized the resources that we do have. Like, I know how to write a story, right? I know how to network. So that takes me to my next question. How important is networking when it comes to business?
Networking is everything. It can either make you or break you. I have always been a type of person that like meeting people. So I'm a people person, right? So I like meeting people. What it don't matter what walk of life you're from. You could be the dishwasher, and I'm gonna treat you the same way if you're the CEO, because that's how I was raised, very down to earth. So I would encourage anyone that feel like they're gonna go into business or anything, treat people nice, treat people with respect, because you never know when you're gonna need that person, or that person may even call you. But it's very important to network. Um, I have met so many people just by networking, and had so many different opportunities just by networking, just by being courteous and saying hello, how are you doing?
Yes.
That's another thing with the social skills. Your social skills are everything. I think today in society, we have technology, technology, technology. So we find ourselves not having to rely on our social skills. But again, social skills are everything, and it can open doors that you never would have thought would have been open for you.
Right. And just to piggyback to that, because everything that you said, I do agree with, and I'm on board with that. Networking is a mechanism for you. You never know who you run into. You never know who can help you in areas that you might need help, or how you can help them. I've always been taught, treat people like you want to be treated.
Right,
And to love people like you love yourself. It doesn't matter where they come from. I'm like you.
right.
I don't care about that. All I know and all I've been taught is to treat people with kindness. And that's what I teach my children. And that's how I try to walk in my life.
Hmm.
And you're right. When we talk about social skills, I was introverted, and you may not even believe it. People don't believe that. And I am an introvert. I was always afraid to speak in front of people, but I'm a public speaker, right?
Right.
You never know. You really, when they say that you really have to dig within, deep down within yourself, and find who you are,
Hmm.
it's true. And when you find who you are, you bring that person out, and you would be amazed at what you can do, because we all have skills. We all have gifts from God that He's given us. So when we talk about social skills, if you're not able to speak to people, if you're never able to talk to people, how can you have a business? If
Right,
you know how to treat people, how can you have a successful business? So you got to look at all of those scenarios, right?
right,
So let's move on. When you talk about a boutique, how difficult, because people want to know this, how difficult is it to set up an online store? How difficult is it to have a physical store? And how do you, is it, what are the resources? Do you go to YouTube and just figure it out?
right.
What were your difficulties in doing an online? And I'll let you go. You can go from there.
Okay. So I think with the online boutique, it's a lot of resources out there for you now to research and um, get the how to and the what not to do and what to do. But I still think it's still going to be a learning journey, because each person audience is different. You know, you're not going to have the same audience as Susie or Mary, you know, so you can kind of get the ingredients, should I say?
Yes.
But you know, the recipe may be a little different on how you spin it. So I think it's important to just research, but also make it your own as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like you said earlier when we got started with the conversation, is that creating a magazine. Do you know how many magazines are out there?
Right.
Right. But I have to create, I'm creating a magazine where I see my vision for my vision and make it my own. Yes, you will. And just like boutiques, you know how many boutiques are out there, but you have to you got to be creative and have a creative mind, right? And that, yes, there are a lot out there, but what makes me different?
Right.
How can I make, what sets me apart from everybody else to make them want to access access LoHo, right?
Right.
When you thought about that and you knew that it was multiple boutiques, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm guilty of it. I was like, nah, not a magazine, it's too many.
Right.
And people, they just go online for what they want. But
Right.
I'm not stopping, I'm doing it. What was your thoughts? What came across your mind, like, should I or shouldn't I?
Right. So that definitely came across my mind. Do I even want to invest in this? Because it's saturated with so many boutiques. But then I also thought on the flip side, why not? I used to be a telemarketer in college. And when I started out being a telemarketer, I actually sucked. Like I was so horrible because I was just like, okay, how are these people making sales? Like, I don't get it. You know, like no one's answering the phone. And when they do answer the phone, they hang up.
When they find out who you are, that's it.
Yes, but I have always been competitive by nature, not really in competition with other people, but in competition with myself.
Yes.
So my grandmother, she's very Southern. She's from Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and she always instilled in me, no matter what, always be the best or one of the best in whatever you do. So she never really cared how many alphabets I had behind my name. She
Right.
just always wanted me to be a good person and challenge myself.
Right.
So back to the telemarketer, I just studied people. I studied what they did wrong. I studied what they did right. And with telemarketing, you have to get through so many calls. You're going to go through so many so many no's to get to that yes. So that's what I'm using the same technique with the boutique. I'm getting a million no's, but when
Yeah.
I get that yes, it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. So again, it's hard work. Um, it's challenging. You have to promo. And again, some people that you thought that may support you, they're not supporting you the way that you thought they would support you. But I'm not using that um, as 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 discouragement. I'm actually using it as fire. You
Fire.
know,
Yes.
fire,
Yes.
fire.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I always tell people you're gonna get a billion no's before that yes. But when that yes comes, it's gonna be that moment. In
Mhm.
that moment that you know that everything that you went through was worth it.
Right.
Worth it. Yeah. And no matter what, even when it seems like people, are really not supporting you, and you're right, even like your family, some people ain't, they're just not going where you're going. They're just not, their mindset is not where your mindset is. So you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. I think that's a part of networking.
Mhm.
People doing the things that you're doing, maybe not a magazine, but something
Right.
that you're doing. And so I you have to put your best foot forward no matter what. I say I live by um your true self is what you do when nobody's looking.
Mhm.
So that's what I live by. So no matter who's looking or not, you still got to be doing the right things, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is your plan for your boutique moving forward? Now that it's up and running, where are you and how are you getting the word out? What are some of the things you're doing to get the word out about your boutique? And do you have a physical place where you have this boutique and online? How's that working?
So my boutique right now is just online. I don't have a storefront. I'm not saying in the future, who knows? I may have a storefront. How I am just, getting it out is basically by networking. I'm using the social media platforms. I'm using email databases. Like I spent so much time building an email database. It was crazy. I know some people that I was reaching out to, they're like, they were kind of scared. Like, what do you need my email for? Like it was a scam because they couldn't believe I was asking for their email, because who really emails, if you're not at work, or, we're texting or FaceTiming. But, I've been using a lot of different things. And with COVID, it have made things quite challenging. But for the future, I plan on doing like pop-up shows and going to different places, connecting with different vendors and et cetera, et cetera. So I just hope this pandemic hurry up and do whatever it's going to do.
Me too.
But I want to survive, and I want my family and friends, So right. I am blessed. I'm blessed, because a lot of people have lost their lives. So I don't want to be insensitive to what's going on to the current climate.
Absolutely. Either. So yeah, I feel your pain, because what I do is speaking engagements, and I create events for people for speaking engagements, for people come speak. We have dinner. I mean, these big events, and I have vendors, like a room full of vendors, and I'm like, I miss that. But we have to be, again, that creative mind when we can't get there and we can't do those things, because right now, God has a plan for all of this. And so we just have to go with the flow right now and do what we can. So I like everything that you've talked about. I want you to share your social media with us. How do we contact you? How do we go on your site and see what you have? Give the people what they can to get in touch with you, or to make purchases from you.
Okay, so LoHo Forever. My website is www.lohoforever.com, and that's LoHoForever.com. And that's the direct site link. I'm also on Facebook at LoHo Forever. I'm also on Instagram at LoHo Forever. And please just go at me. I look forward to growing and to having you a part of this journey with me.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I can't wait to shop with you. Can you tell us, are you offering sizes like from the small, skinny people to the healthy, beautiful people?
So my boutique, LoHo Forever, we have clothing for women of all shapes and sizes, curves, from small to 3X. We want to include everyone and anyone. We want to embrace curves. We don't want to miss anyone. So
yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. I walk in the store, I'm like, I'm fat right now. I need big girl clothes.
Let's just say we're curvy-licious.
Yes. and I look forward to doing business with you more when the pandemic goes away. Hopefully you can come out here and join the vendor events and bring some of your items. And let's continue to see where we can support one another.
Sounds good. I am all about that type of energy.
Okay. You guys, I am thankful that you're here listening. I'm that you were able to come here and get the entire story. I thank you guys for supporting Black Is Magazine. I look forward to what you guys will do for LoHo. And even if it's just going and tapping her and saying, good job, keep going. We always need motivation no matter what. And share it also on your social media, LoHo. So it's www.lohoforever.com. You can find her at her at LoHo Forever. She's on Instagram too. So you guys look for LoHo. Any size. Y'all gotta check her out. So thank you so much again for being here. God bless you. And then I look forward to doing business in the future.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.